Hello, this is a presentation on how to submit a proposal in SmartSimple, presented by the UCOP Research Grants Program Office, Contracts and Grants Unit. The CNG works in collaboration with the California HIV/AIDS Research Program, CHRP, serving as an interface on administrative and procedural aspects of your LOI and application submission and review process. Please feel free to contact us by email at rgpogrants@ucop.edu if you have questions that are not provided in this recording or in our printed materials. Some overview and tips of SmartSimple. All application materials must be submitted through SmartSimple. All submission deadlines for LOIs and applications are set for 12 p.m. noon. Full applications must be submitted by your institutional signing official. Detailed instructions are provided on the CHRP website and in SmartSimple. We recommend that you start early to become familiar with SmartSimple and submit early, as no late applications will be accepted. Please note that this presentation will highlight key steps to complete your LOI and applications in SmartSimple. Not all SmartSimple steps will be covered today, and you can refer to the detailed instructions outlined in the call for applications and in the submission instructions. Accessing SmartSimple. You must prepare and submit your application online using our SmartSimple system. The link and detailed instructions can be found on the CHRP website. The URL for SmartSimple is https://rgpogrants.ucop.edu. All users accessing SmartSimple for the first time should click Register Here on this page to register and create an account. We'll talk about this more in the next slide. Applicants who have previously registered with SmartSimple and are returning to complete an in-progress application should enter their username and password under Login and click the Login button in SmartSimple. If you run into login issues, please contact RGPO. This is a screenshot of the Register Here page. You will be asked to enter all details, click the I am not a robot box, and click Submit to create your account. Once an account is created, you can return to the main SmartSimple page and log in using your account information. If you complete this form and receive a message indicating that an account with your email address already exists, return to the main login page and click the Forgot Password link to receive a password reset email. Preparing and submitting an LOI. Once you are logged into SmartSimple, you can access the application materials by clicking on the available funding opportunities in the top blue menu bar. You will see a list of all open funding opportunities. Find the row that corresponds to the award type you are interested in and click Apply. If you are submitting an application for an invited call, you will receive instructions by email to access the application in the In Progress Applications section of the home screen. In this webinar and in our written instructions, the term applicant PI is used to refer to the applicant responsible for initiating and submitting the LOI and application for any award type. This is the individual who will be receiving an award if selected. Once you click on Apply, you should complete the eligibility quiz and review the helpful hints. You can then click through the section headings, generally title page, applicant principal investigator, project information, budget, signature page to complete the LOI. Please note that you must click Submit LOI when you are done. Otherwise, your LOI will only be saved in the system and not submitted to us. Once you've submitted an LOI, you will get an email confirmation. If you do not receive this email, first check your spam folder, then please contact us so we can confirm that your LOI has been submitted. The applicant PI will receive the email notification about whether your LOI has been approved. Once you receive this notification, you can then log into SmartSimple and start the full application. Once logged into the system, you will be defaulted to the My Applications home screen. Click on the In Progress Applications as circled in this screenshot. You can then locate the LOI that you submitted to our program and check the status column. If the status still says LOI submitted, this confirms that your submission and that your LOI is still under review. Once you receive the email notification and see the status as invited to full application, you can then click Open to start the full application. You will not have access to the application materials until your LOI is approved and the status changes to invited to full application. Once you click Open, you will see the fields you completed for the LOI. You can click Continue to Full Application button at the bottom of the screen to access the full application materials. You can access the various application sections that appear horizontally across the top of the page. Responses from the LOI section will be carried forward and can be updated. You can download instructions at the top of each page. You can also download templates and upload required attachments in the documentation section. Once you have completed each section, click Submit to Signing Official when you are done. Once the signing official submits the application, you will receive a confirmation email. We will discuss the signing official's role in a later slide. In your application, you may use the Invite Personnel tab on the left sidebar to invite your PI assistant, a co-principal investigator applicable to partnered awards, and others who will help prepare the application. Inviting personnel in a full application. So for partnered awards only, you are required to invite a co-principal investigator. Please be sure to select the role of co-principal investigator and not co-investigator when inviting a partner applicant to a partnered award. You can also give edit access to a PI assistant and a view-only access to a co-investigator here. Each invited user will receive an email with instructions to accept the invitation and access the application. You will know when any invited personnel have accepted the invitation when their status changes from invited to accepted. Once the co-PI has accepted the invitation and completed their applicant profile, both PIs will appear in the Applicant Principal Investigator tab, and this is specific to partnered awards. In addition, with partnered awards, once the co-PI has accepted the invitation, the budget will appear on the Budget tab. Each PI budget will appear as a separate line. On the Budget tab, edit individual budgets by opening the correct budget. The applicant PI will be able to access all budgets. The co-PI will only be able to edit their own budget. I'll go over the budget functionality in the next few slides, but this is a heads up to review the screen before logging and submitting an application in order to check the direct cost total against the allowable cap for the award type. I want to highlight some additional items on the Budget tab, namely adding institutional context and then completing the actual budget. To access those sections, first click on the Budget tab and then click Open. The first sub-tab within the Budget tab is Institution Contacts. All signatures will be collected electronically. Applicants must select their institution's designated signing official, who must review and submit the application through SmartSimple by the application deadline. The person in this role must not be the applicant PI or the co-PI, and should be another authorized signatory designated for your institution. Please plan submission timelines accordingly. In addition to the signing official, you must also add a fiscal contact and a contracts and grants contact as institution contacts. To add the signing official, for example, locate the signing official field, start typing your signing official's name or email address, and select from the list that populates. If you cannot find the name in the list, skip down to the Can't Find the Contact You're Looking For question and click the Can't Find Signing Official Radio button, and then add Signing Official button. A new window will open for you to add the signing official's information. Repeat these steps to add your fiscal contact and contracts and grants contact, and then save draft to save your work. A read-only view of your entries will display on the Project Contacts tab. The second sub-tab within the Budget tab is Budget Summary. Click on this tab to access the budget form. Excuse me. And then click Edit Budget, and a separate window will open to enter your budget details. Excuse me. We will discuss this page on the next slide. If you have subcontracts, a separate budget must be provided per subcontract by clicking on the subcontract budget details. You can also click back to application to continue working on other sections of the application. And then at the bottom, you can click Save Draft to save your changes. Do not click Budget Complete until you have entered all of your institution contacts, budget figures, and justification notes. Clicking on this button will lock the entire Budget tab, and you will not be able to make additional edits to this section. Another reminder for partnered award applicants is to double check the combined direct costs for each co-PI's budget against the allowable cap prior to completing the budget complete. Clicking on Edit Budget will open the screen to edit the budget details. Scroll down to Personnel Costs, Salary and Fringe. Click the plus button to add new personnel expense and indicate the dollar amount by each year requested. The total will calculate at the end of the row. When you click Save, the expense will populate in the budget summary at the top of the screen. Repeat the step for each personnel expense of your budget. A text box is available under each budget category to provide the budget justification relevant to that particular category. There is no character limit on the budget justification, though the expectation is that the justification is concise. Throughout the application, you'll see additional questions for which you are required to click a button that will open a separate window for you to enter information such as research demographics, milestones, and project personnel. Please refer to the application's instructions for steps on accessing these windows and contact us if you have questions. The Documentation tab is where you can find links to download the required templates. Complete the templates, convert them to PDF, and upload them in the corresponding fields on the same Documentation tab of your application. Once all online and downloaded templates have been completed and uploaded to SmartSimple, the application is ready to be submitted to each institution's signing official. For partnered awards, co-PIs must download the signature page for non-submitting institutions, obtain the required signatures, and upload the file here on the signature page. A separate signed signature page must be uploaded for each non-submitting institution before the submitting PI can submit to their signing official. Please plan submission timelines accordingly. The application is now ready to be submitted to the applicant PI's institutional signing official. You must click Submit to Signing Official to complete this step. Your institution's signing official will receive an email notification to log in, review, and either submit the application or send the application back to the applicant PI for revision. Note, the signing official must complete this step prior to the application deadline. If the signing official's submission was successful, they will see a confirmation on their screen, and a confirmation email will be sent to the signing official and the applicant PI. The status of the application will change to the status of full application submitted, and the applicant PI will be able to access a read-only copy of the application under the Submitted under Review Applications tile in their SmartSimple portal. For additional applicant support, you may contact the program for programmatic guidance at chrp@ucop.edu or the appropriate program officer as listed on their website. Or for SmartSimple guidance, you can contact RGPO grants at ucop.edu to reach a member of the Contracts and Grants pre-award team. You can, again, visit the CHRP website for the call for applications and related information at chrp.org and log into SmartSimple at https://rgpogrants.ucop.edu to download the submitted detailed submission instructions. Thank you for your time and listening to this presentation.